Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. We are still working through Learn to Code 2, the module parameters, and we are about 3 away from the end of this. These are starting to get bigger, but I'm also starting to kind of branch out a little bit and get a little more creative with some of these. And so we'll probably make it through 1, maybe 2 today. This is kind of a fun one. Let me reset it real quick. I have written the code in this before, but let's do it fresh because it's better if we practice writing the code versus we just review the code that I wrote forever ago. All right, so we're going to place an expert and then use jump to solve the puzzle. So we'll choose a location for both an expert and a character, it says. We get a new ability. So the expert has a special skill of turning locks. The character now has a special skill of jumping. So the character type has the ability to jump up and down when you use the command jump. That's pretty cool. It's the expert can't jump, and so we know that if we need a jumping thing, we need a character. Identify starting location of your character and your expert. Initialize both characters and place them at your starting locations. Use the jump command to make your character jump when needed to solve the puzzle. Now, let's define our guys. And I'm going to call him expert again. In the last one, we called him Bob, just so that I could show you that the lowercase expert is not a special name. Sometimes when we've got a bunch of things that are all named the same, I've got this class of expert and I've got this instance of expert. Which one's important to keep expert? Which one am I referring to in different places? So I named him Bob just to show you that you can rename it. But there's also value in naming your instances something that you know exactly what they are. Bob is not terribly descriptive. Bob could be the name of an expert or a character. So I'm going to go back to character and expert. But honestly, use whatever variable names you want. So as I'm looking at this, it looks like there's a natural path here across the top and then down through this column and then over here. Now, we can't jump this, so we do need an expert over here. And the expert can toggle switches. So I'm thinking 3.0 is a great place for our expert. World.place expert. Facing, I'm going to say dot east, assuming that to the right is east, and we'll check it. 3.0, confirm that I have that right. Let's just place and see. Okay, he's not east. He needs to move to north. Beautiful. Now, expert doesn't even actually have to move, which is cool. Let's place our character at 0, 0. Oh, we want our facing version, not our basic version. Facing north at column 0, 0. Let's place him. Excellent. Okay, so we've got both our character and our expert. We could start out with just saying expert dot turn lock up. Oh, okay, look at that. They gave us that function back. So we want true on that and number of times 1 because it looks like 1 should do it. And then expert dot toggle switch. Let's just run that, and let's take this into bite-sized pieces so we can tackle this. And then I think we're done with expert, really. We just need to turn that up and toggle the switch. Perfect. Now we need this guy to do this. Now, let's just have him jump a couple of times so that we can see what jump looks like. And I'm just going to say for I in 1 dot 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 3 because I want to see him jump 3 times and see how that behavior looks. So if you get something new in code, sometimes it's good to set up a little prototype and just see what it looks like. So jump, this is our first exposure. Let's see what it does. You know, the other thing, I don't necessarily need the expert to do his thing, so I'm going to pause that and let's just do this. I'm going to comment out his stuff so that all we get is the character jumping. If you ever need to take a piece of code out, you can just hit that double slash and it will gray it out, and that's the way that you create a comment. That way you can leave it in your code temporarily and test what happens if I don't have that code in there versus what if I do. Now you'll notice I can jump up to this green, down to this tan, up to this green. It's almost like walking. In fact, I don't know that we would need to walk versus jump. Jump is kind of like a cooler form or a more advanced form of walking to this guy. So we might just say jump, jump, jump the whole way through. And so let's write a function. And we'll write it just below our variable declarations, jump char. And let's give it a number of times. Frequency, int, for I in one ... frequency. And then we're just going to say character.jump, but we also want to collect gems. So we could do both. If is on, or character is on gem, then character.collect gem. So we could do this and then say, okay, I know I need to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could say jump character 4, character.turn right. It's going to face him down this way. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 more. Jump char 4. And then I'm going to go character.turn left. And then let's see if I could jump 1, 2. I'm going to say jump character 2. I don't know if you can jump across a flat surface, but let's see. If we can, then jump truly is a newer, better version of walk, and we don't really ever need to walk again. It sounds weird when you're saying, oh, I learned to jump, so I don't have to walk. But in the purpose of the computer, if jump doesn't bring any overhead, and it gives me more functionality in that if I run into a wall, I can jump over that wall. In theory, right now, I don't need to walk. So let's try it. And let me grab a drink of coffee. Sorry, getting a little hoarse. Let's uncomment these, otherwise our bridge won't be ready for us. And let's run. Okay, sorry, I had to mute my mic and clear my throat. One thing about making a lot of videos is you talk a whole lot more than you normally do. Yep, jumping works across flat surfaces, but we didn't check the final spot. So we need to fix something there. So in our function, I mean, really the only other thing we need to do is collect one more gem. So we can say that. Excuse me. Man, I'm really struggling today. Sorry about that. It might be the weather or something. If we're looking at this, I know I've got a gem on the first one, so I need to check before I move, but I also need one final check. In this case, I think we could always do, we could write a quick function for, and then let's just steal this. And then let's just say check space. And then after we exit our loop, let's just run check space one more time. So at the end of every time we do a jumping walk forward, we're going to, so I get through this whole row. Before I turn, I'm going to check that space one more time, check that space one more time, but it's going to give it to us here as well. I think that's probably the cleanest. I could just at the very end say character.collect gem, but I like the check space aspect because if they were to change up the pattern of the gems along that row, it would also protect against that change. So pretty cool. All right, we're not too far in, so let me look and see what the next one looks like. And we might do this one. I'm going to go ahead and reset it. Solve this puzzle using initialization, parameters, and other skills. Solve this challenge, you need 2 experts working together, each one to pick different locks to raise and lower platforms so you can collect gems. So it looks like we're going to have multiple experts, maybe even a character. Remember how types are just blueprints. You can initialize 2 instances of the same type. They're basically identical, but you control them separately. So this is going to be interesting because we can't name it just expert. We're going to have 2 experts. Looks like, though, we could just have 2 experts because I'm going to need one over here and one over here. So let's start with that. Let upper expert equal expert. Now this is capitalized right here because it's camel case and my first letter is lowercase. And then I'm going to say let lower expert equal expert. Now, I'm just saying upper, meaning the way I'm looking at this in this perspective right now, this would be my upper expert, the guy moving here, and then my lower expert's this guy right here. So it looks like I have a situation where I need to turn this blue one down, but then I need to turn this purple one up so that this expert can move across. This one needs to start at yellow so I can turn these down and then lift him up to come over and get this gem. So let's kind of start with that. So let's do world.place. We're going to get our facing one. Let's say lower expert. And I've already forgotten it. That's what probably ADD will do to you. 6-0. And then let's just test that, see if he's facing the way we want him to. Oh, they changed the gems. That's important. Okay, he is facing the right way. Wow, we won on the first one. So then our upper expert will be 04. Try to remember that for 3 seconds. 04. 04. Facing north. Let's see what we get. Yes. Okay. And notice the gems have changed. So we do need a function for check gem. So whenever we're walking, we will need to check for a gem. Check the space. I wonder if we can write one that does it for both. Let's start out with world dot. Okay, item is the type there. I wonder if we can say function check space expert item. I don't know that we can do that or not, but let's try. If expert dot is on gem, I don't know that that works. Item has no member collect gem. Interesting. Okay. Could we say expert? Has no member. Oh, is, how about on gem? This would be cool, guys. Oh, I don't need the parens. That's for functions. Goofy me. Oh, but that is a function. Oh, but no, is on gem is a property. Yep, sorry. Collect gem is the function. Okay, this is actually kind of cool because I can use the same function for lower expert or upper expert. That's something new that we haven't done before. Let's continue that idea. Function, we know we're going to need to turn. And let's say expert. And then we are going to say times int and write bool. So we've got that, and we'll say for I in 1 dot 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 times if right expert dot turn right, else expert dot turn left. Okay, and so now we are there. We've got our times, we've got our expert that we're defining. Excellent. Function walk expert. Let's do this. No, we're good. I was going to say let's copy and paste, but we're doing fine. Times int for I in 1 dot 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 times expert dot move forward. Okay, so we've written some helper functions. So I can call the function on either expert, and I can move them. The only thing I can't do right now is a function for turning locks. And they already have one that they've written for us, but let's write one ourselves just so that we've got it. Turn locks. Let's say up bool. And oh, we need first expert up, and then times int. So that way I know which way am I turning it, how many times am I turning it, and who's turning it. Not in that order, but that's what we get. So I'm going to say for I in 1 dot 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 times, and then I'm going to say if up expert dot turn lock up, else expert dot turn lock down. So I'm bringing in times, I'm handling the up or down. Expert, because we're using this name and not lower and upper within our function, it will work for either one. So we should be set. So now we can turn, we can collect, we can move. There's a lot of good stuff here. So we could just start saying, we know that blue needs to come down 2 times, it looks like. So our lower expert is in a good spot. Let's just say dot, or I'm sorry, we don't need to start with lower expert. We need to do turn locks. And we need to say lower expert, and we're going to say false 2. And we could say check space upper expert, and that's really all we need to do there. He's going to collect a gem. But as they move, we're going to want to check. So let's check on both of them where they start. That way, if a gem pops here and here, we're good. And gems may pop anywhere across here and anywhere across here. Let's go ahead and run and see where we're at. So we bring that down. And we're going to bring it down again, which is going to line it up. Beautiful. And he's going to collect the gem. And he doesn't have a gem to collect, so he's good. So I need to then turn lower expert around. Turn expert, lower expert to, we'll say true, doesn't matter. Either way, since we're turning around. And then I want upper expert to turn locks. And I want that to be false because I need to go down 1. And I just need down 1. See? Boop. These 3 right here are going to come down. And then I want to walk all the way across until I get here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Oh, you know what we need to do? We need to add in our walk expert. We're going to say, check this out. We're going to say, after we move forward, or actually before we move forward, how about well, no, it could be at the end. Let's do it afterwards because we do an initial check of the space. And I'm just going to say expert. And we can feed this through. I'm using the name of that we're using within the function. And so I'm going to pass in upper expert, and upper expert, expert becomes upper expert, which uses throughout here and passes it to the next function. If this is lower expert that I feed into here, this becomes lower expert, and it feeds lower expert into the next function. That's a really cool thing we can do there. That way we don't have to call check space every time we say walk. So I need to go 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry. Yeah, after I've turned 1, 2, 3, and then I actually need him to turn that back up. So I'm going to say walk expert, lower, 3. And he's going to check along the way. And then I want to turn the expert, lower expert, oops. Lower, I want to turn him once, and I want to turn him right because I want him to face that purple switch. And then I need turn locks, upper expert, true 1 because I need him to elevate it back up to here. And then I want to turn locks, lower expert. Up is going to be true 2 because I need this lower one raised up to here. Then I'm going to turn expert, lower expert, times 1 right false because I want to, he's facing this way towards the lock. I want him to turn this way. And then I want to move him 1, 2, 3 more times. Walk expert, lower, oops, 3. And that finishes out lower expert. Then this guy's ready to go. So let's turn expert, upper expert, times 1, right, true, because we want him to turn towards that gem. And then we just need him to walk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces. It may need to be 7 if they would, in theory, throw a gem right there. Let's maybe make him go 7 just in case. And there's no problem going 1 extra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see what we get. So the gems come across here and across here, it looks like. So he's cranking that one down first. He's turning. Then upper expert is going to lower the bridge. Oh, okay. So I thought that the lock was stationary. He could have turned the lock before this guy raises it back up. I thought we had to elevate back up to the lock. But we need to anyway to get him over here, so that's totally fine. And we're moving. Collecting as we go. That's it. Awesome. All right, guys, this one went a little bit long, but we got through 2 of them. That was a lot of fun, though. We created some cool functions that we can use to feed in experts, and we fed experts in through functions within functions. So that was a really cool thing. We didn't have to write a function to walk or turn or check a space for each expert. We fed in the type that we wanted. That simplifies our code significantly. That also gives us a lot of really cool helper functions that if we were developing a whole lot of things for this expert, we could do some really neat stuff for. So just remember, because we define in here that this is of type expert, all of the capabilities of type expert are available to us here. Turning right, turning locks, moving forward, all of that good stuff. So if this had been character, then this function would also, we could say expert, if this was character, not expert, we could say expert.jump, and that would work as well. But because he's not a character type, jump wouldn't work. It's not part of the definition. This expert is a class. And so what you're actually telling it is, I want to have all the capabilities of that class because I'm feeding in a type of that class. Something really cool. Just know that kind of stuff comes into programming all the time. I hope you've had fun with these. Go out and have a great day. Thanks for watching.